てつけ。チームあるムンマ
ステータスアップ。これで足ります。
スパルタだ。エルモピロイエルモタイヤ。
了解。ああ。えい。おれ。無理。ステータスアップ。これで足ります。
ここでこうだ。当然だろ。勝利は目前だな。
いいわ、お姉さん感楽しみましょう。
ここでこうだ。当然だろ。だから俺は
楽しみましょ
う。リア王の手なロミオの人。フムシオクロ
楽しみましょう。
タンバせめ
倒れません。了解。押し切ります。ターゲット。トーン。はあ。トーン。はあ。おれ。
Alrighty, what is up, everybody? So yeah, that was actually my first try today. Like, I just leveled up Zerkalot's 3rd skill, did the stage 1 time. I was like, oh, okay, that was easy. So, yeah, it works out. Daeon's kind of good, by the way. Alrighty, let's see if I got my screen set up properly. There we go, I do. Look at that. Almost a smooth transition, and then the sound is unbelievably loud, but you know. Baby steps. Alrighty. Quetz didn't win, indeed. How you doing, Lost? Alright, let me get some music going here. Alright. So yeah, I think the summer stream is tonight, if I'm correct. Something like that. I think it's like really late tonight, though. Does anyone know like how many hours it is? And Mr. Isit, thank you for the 25 months. And TG and Poi Poi with TG with 23 and Poi Poi for 45. Jesus Christ. Also, feels bad, sir, about the bad day there. But at least it's over. Hang in there. But yeah, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate the subs. All right, let's get to business here. So, if I had had more free time today, I was actually going to stream FGO and then maybe Elden Ring, because there was a patch last night, and the nerfed Rivers of Blood, the nerfed Bloodhound Step, the buffed light equipped load, the buffed Claymore, the buffed Great Axes. Unfortunately, they didn't buff regular axes, which is annoying because regular axes are worse than Great Axes, but they're never going to remember that. Dark Claw, thank you for the 16 months. I'm the summer servant. Oh boy. But yeah, see, when was the stream? 10 hours? Yeah, okay. No, I'm not staying up for that. F that. But hey, Gambler. Gambler, I needed your emote the other day. Trying to remember. I think Cairo was either. Well, I don't remember if it was me or Cairo, but someone had an Ash moment that wasn't Ash. And I was just like, you know, their brain is being piloted by Ash, and I needed your, like, steering wheel emote. I don't know what to call it, but yeah, I needed that pretty bad. But yeah, Ash moments, you know. But, let's see, where were we at here? But yeah, Elden Ring, though, big patch, finally some, yeah, that's the one. But yeah, finally some PvP balances for Elden Ring. Oh, and they're also allowing you to invade, like, all over the place. You have the option now to, like, use your invasion item and have it invade a bunch of areas at once. Because, obviously, the world is so spread out, so that ought to make it easier to find games. So, sounds pretty good. But I just didn't have time to play it today. Also, I'm so rusty, I'm probably going to be garbage. I haven't played in months. But yeah, I'm really glad they finally patched it, and hopefully we'll get more patches. And this is what I like about the patch. They are blatantly listening to feedback, and I had heard from, like, people that work at From Software saying that From Software wanted to, like, do a better job with the PvP and, like, work with feedback better. And these changes were really good. And what I really like is they did not over-nerf Rivers of Blood. Rivers of Blood is still very viable, it's still good. What they mainly did was if you only hit with the blood, it does way less damage. But if you hit with the blade, it still does pretty much the same. Which that's the way to do it, in my opinion. And they made it so Bloodhound Step is way worse, but if you're using it with light equip load, then it's actually still really strong. That's a really good way to balance it. So they made some good changes, and they were based off, like, the smart feedback out there. Finally built my first PC, and I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring in my free time. Nice, nice. I'm looking forward to playing it again. It's been a while. It's been quite a while. It just took them so long to patch the damn thing. I haven't played, though, since the patch. How is the invasion? Does it invade in the surrounding areas, or does it literally invade the entire, like, map? Because it'd be really cool if you could, like, if it would invade the random catacombs and caves and stuff, because you'll just randomly get people in those, and that could be a lot of fun. But I don't know if it, like, invades only, like, near you. I don't know exactly how it works. And thank you for the 6 months of Terra Wasser 2 something. Anyway, fuck me green, man. Also, do you have Summer Servant you want announced? I mean, not really. I don't care that much about Summer Servants. I just want Koo to get his Hawaiian shirt, for God's sake. But yeah, I don't really care. I mean, like, normally with Summer Servants, I'm just like, hey, if they happen to get a cool design that's more serious, or they get really cool gameplay, I'm happy about that. Alright, where's Cairo? There's our boy. Alright, fighting Sabers, Billy. And, Stinky, I can't use Cruise When I'm playing FGO, thank you. That doesn't work, but I guess the next time I play Arc Knights, we'll do that. Yeah, I really need to like toggle that stuff. Hey, look, it's the team I just used for quests. Let's be honest, chat. If Cruz was in FGO and as good in Arc Knights in FGO, or she's as good in FGO as she is in Arc Knights, she would not be allowed on this account. So let's just be honest here. For necromancy on Cruz. Yeah, I made it so the use Cruz thing can only be used like 5 times a stream, so it won't get like too out of hand. But the next thing I need to do is like add a soundboard, and you can spend 2,000 points on oof or whatever. I think that'll be a good way to curb the points a bit. I'd 120 Cruz. Would you really? Would you in what order? Like what would the order on your main account be? Oh, excuse me. Let's see. What else do I have archer wise? I guess just Kid Gill. Wow, our archer slot is pretty yikes now that I think about it. I mean, K-scope is unnecessary, but it has a good attack stat on it. Cruz after. Wait. Cruz alter would be her stage 3. Oh yeah. I mean, who knows? Like, I don't know though. They actually might do some collabs at some point. Nasu has definitely expressed interest in doing it. I actually think from that last interview, I really think this is the case. And I never really thought about this, but I think this is the case for a lot of the failures of FGO. I think the reason they haven't done collabs has nothing to do with canon. It has nothing to do with really anything in terms of business and like them not wanting to promote other games. I don't think it's any of that. I think the reason they haven't done other collabs is because they were afraid of rocking the boat. And that's basically what they said in the interview recently, that they haven't implemented a lot of like interesting ideas they've had for the game because they were afraid of like breaking the balance of the game and like messing with like how much people farm or want to farm, or they just didn't want to do any of that. But they basically said in this interview they're going to have to start doing better because their competition is kicking their ass. So, and like workload is part of it, because like they said, DW's work, it wasn't even workload, it was workflow, right? Their workflow was horrible with DW, and they just couldn't get shit done. So that's part of it, but they said that they hadn't like been doing like anything risky because they were just afraid of it breaking the game. But now they said because the other games are doing so much better, they kind of have to take risks, which they're correct. They should have been doing that sooner, to be honest. So yeah, I think that's part of why we never got a proper collab, is just they were afraid of it pissing people off. Alrighty, let's see. What do we want to do on kit? You know what? Just NP for everybody. Just do that. That's fine. And then see red, press red. Mash in case of emergency. Salami sandwich. There we go. Although I guess it's just the one salami this time. She's definitely not gonna NP. What do I use? I guess this is good enough. And then 2030. I should really start with. You know what? We'll do that. Yeah, Kid Gill for life. Let's go. So many stars. I can't believe the devs think that. Sarcasm, by the way. Well, the thing is, that's actually a pretty common mindset from a lot of Japanese companies in my experience. And even some North American companies, really. They can be pretty afraid of risk-taking. If, like, something's good enough, don't fix it, right? That kind of thing. Because the game was so successful. Yeah, they did. I think they didn't even understand why FGO is so successful. I really think that. I think DW, Aniplex, and Type Moon did not understand why FGO is so successful. Because they didn't put that much effort into it initially. They started putting more effort into it later. But I don't think they knew why it was so successful, and I think they were afraid, and maybe still are afraid of like plucking up the golden goose. But I think they know now that if they don't do anything, they're just gonna fall behind. Because that's what they said. I mean, that excites me, because they said in that interview that they're planning on, trying more things and, implementing more stuff. So, and now they have a better workflow, presumably under Lasagna. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think we might have some good things ahead. I don't know why I bothered to do NP gain. I really don't care about getting Kid Gill's NP right now. So. I mean, obviously you need to get permission from the other IP, but that's nothing. Like, other companies are happy to collab. Look, Arknights is collabing with people. Arknights is a much smaller company than FGO, like, who's running it, right? So if they can get permission from other IPs, I'm pretty sure most people would actually jump at the opportunity to do a collab with FGO or just Fate, just because it is really popular. And not only that, but they have collabed with other IPs. They just don't put that stuff in FGO. But they did stuff with Battle Cats and that card game and a few other games here and there. So yeah, they're not gonna have any problems finding IPs that want to work with them. And fucking Arc System Works has even said in the past that they'd like to work with Type Moon, be it in a fighting game or I'm sure Arc System Works has done Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear collabs with all kinds of people. So I'm sure if Type Moon was like, yo, you guys want to do a Guilty Gear or Blaze Blue collab with FGO, they'll do it. Like, absolutely they'll do it. So getting the other companies on board is not that hard. It might be hard with some companies, right? Like, not every company on the planet is going to want to work with you, but yeah, I don't think that really has anything to do with it. And really, with them expressing interest in doing it in the past, I really do think it has to do with what they said in that interview about them being afraid to take any risks. And I think they were afraid if they did it, they'd make people mad. And they'll make some people mad. There's a subset of people in any game that just freak out and get so pissed off at collabs and they get like personally offended about it. That I'm sure if FGO does it, they will make some people mad. But they should do it anyway, because fuck them. Like, I would just say if you're going to do a collab, especially if it's not one that's like a compatible universe, just make sure it's obviously off canon and it's not, you know, serious in that way, and that's fine, right? I think people kind of prefer that anyway, because you get more of fun nonsense. And make it so people don't want to do it, they don't have to do it. Yeah, they haven't given a lot of information about the next collab in Arknights yet. Happen eventually though. I really hope it's DMC, but it's not. I think it's Resident Evil, because Arknights is really, so far, I mean, we've only had one collab, but Arknights took the other collab pretty seriously, and they wanted it to like fit in with the world, and they wanted it to make sense and all that kind of stuff. So, and that's fine, but like, because of that, I suspect they're gonna look for compatible universes that make sense, and Resident Evil makes a lot of sense because like their viruses and all that nonsense, they already have that kind of thing in Arknights, and it's, you know, more modern and all that, so it's easy for them to do it. But I have said maybe they'll do something wacky, and instead of them getting isekai'd to Arknights, the Arknights crew will get temporarily isekai'd to somewhere else, right? So if they want to do something wacky, they could, like Monster Hunter would be awesome, fight bosses with that gameplay and stuff, that'd be really cool. But yeah, I would love Virgil and Arknights, that would be fantastic. Do I NP this guy? I think I just bruiser it down. It doesn't have any crit buffs right now. I mean, they could, like, DMC is like kind of justifiable, but if you look at like, it's more than just them coming up with a reason for someone to be isekai'd, right? Like with Rainbow Six, they did a lot more than that, right? Because they've kind of implied normal Earth, which is kind of what you see in Rainbow Six, is the past in Arknights, and like the oddities going on with like gunpowder and like the lack thereof of firearms, but like there being some kind of firearms and everything. And then Rainbow Six, like they used that for world building. They did a lot of that. How the fuck are you going to use Devil May Cry for world building, right? Like everything about Dante and Virgil. How the fuck are you going to use that in any serious capacity, right? So, like, the universe of Rainbow Six is very compatible with Arknights. DMC is not, right? You're not going to do something serious with that. Now, you don't have to do something serious.
Okay.
But with Resident Evil, they could keep it serious, and they could keep it in the same style they did for Rainbow Six, which makes me believe that's what they would want to do. Now, maybe not. Maybe they're going to like, okay, the other collab, we took it really seriously, and this one, we're just going to shoot the moon, right, or whatever. So, yeah, who knows? And honestly, if for Fate, I think for them, it's the best to just not take it seriously. I think if they do a collab event with like Blaze Blue or you know, topical anime here, just make it not off canon and just have fun with it. I mean, you could do it, right? With the way Throne of Heroes works and it being outside of space time and everything. I mean, you could do it, right? You could have the Throne of Heroes record, you know, I don't know, Goblin Slayer or whatever the fuck you want to do. you could do that, but it's probably just for the best that they just, you know, say fuck it. Yeah, I guess that's true though. Honestly, that's true. If you're gonna make Saber Wars a thing, Saber Wars is honestly more ridiculous than like the Rainbow Six collab, and it's not even close. So yeah, if they're gonna do that, I guess they can do whatever. But let's see. So Middle Billy's got the crit buff and Buster up. Let's go. Bang, bang, bang. Made like too many options there. Who knows? Maybe we get Art Knights collabing with FGO. Right, that'd be fun. Get Coup and Art Knights. Get what's popular? I guess Surtur or something. I don't know. Donkey. I think it has a really easy time doing collabs with other stuff because they know what's popular, right? Like the Fate Stay Night stuff and all that. You know, Artoria, Gilgamesh. Right, that always gets in. But I don't know what the hell a game like Arc Knights would do. They don't have such clear cuts. This is like the face of the franchise type things going on. This is not exactly the hand I was hoping for. A Buster card would have been nice. Cause like, you know, FGO, if they do a collab, they always put like Artoria and that kind of stuff in the other game. But like a franchise that is initially a gacha, right? And like the popularity is kind of all over the place. I don't know what they would do. You get Coup, we get Cruise. I honestly don't think they would do Cruise, but who knows? I mean, they might. They always throw in a few random stuff when games do collab, so you never know. They use Gil a lot. They put Gil in that card game. They put Gil in Battle Cats. They put like all of the main Fate Stay Night casts in Battle Cats. By the way, Coup is a 5-star over there, which I always find that kind of annoying. Although ultimately, I'm happy about him being a. Yeah, we're not farming. Let me just nuke myself. To be clear, we only use the other account when we've already done the farming stage, and I just need to do it over and over and over and over and over again. Artoria gets put in it. Gil, Artoria, and Coup, and Emiya, they use in other games pretty often. Berserker's fine here. But I think I fucked up my Berserker preset. Let me fix that. Wait, Coup is in Puzzle and Dragons? I don't even know what that is. That's like, but is Coup actually in whatever game that is? And is he low tier? Feels bad if that's the case. I think he's good in Battle Cats. I'm pretty sure he's a pretty good unit. Yeah, I didn't know they collabed with that. I don't even know what that is, but Boomer Gashia. How bad is Coup in that? What's the damage? Whoops. All right, clean up the Lancer. That would be fucking what though? We're not allowed to use Deer Mid. I swear I'm gonna have to level Baldy at some point. If he had gotten buffed though, I would have done it, but he's a 5-star, which isn't good in that game. What did they go up to, like 10 stars or something crazy? Rarity goes up to like 9, jeez. So I guess if it's a really old game, that's back when low stars were bad. Like back in the day, you didn't have like low, because like most games these days, low stars are always pretty solid, can fill niches and can punch above their weight class a lot of the time. But you don't really see that in old games. It was pretty standard for them to be crap. Hey Beto, or B2, something like that. Why is Quetz there again? Let's not have any more of that. Well, you gotta understand, the really old mobile games I just all dismissed. They were all shit. Like, man, the old phone games were just awful. And I didn't even have a smartphone until, like Camelot on JP was already out by the time I had a smartphone. And in most mobile games, I was just like, this isn't worth my time. because they were just garbage. And honestly, a lot of them are still garbage, but they've definitely gotten better as the years have gone on. I think mobile games have gotten better as the years have gone on, and then regular games have gotten worse, and they're meeting in the middle. That's basically what's happening. Yeah, imagine a lot of those old games are kind of just falling off at this point. I know a few of the classics have endured, but like, their business models are so bad. And like their competition is just getting more and more fierce. Like I said, like regular video games and gacha games have been like meeting in the middle and fusing, so like that old school stuff just doesn't have a chance. What do I do here? Honestly, I could NP, but I should probably just clear this wave. Normal cards. I just stuck with like flip phones for a while. I had no need of a smartphone for a good bit. But it got to the point where it was just really handy and smartphones were way better, and with like the work I was doing at the time, it just made sense. And then I'd heard FGO was getting significantly better, so I was like, okay, you know what, I'll get a smartphone, I'll try some FGO while I'm at it, and see what all the hubbub is about. And now somehow it's my career, so that's the thing. I mean, flip phones still have uses if you just need it for calling and nothing else. I mean, there's really not much reason to have a smartphone. If you don't need to like get on the internet all the time or whatever, it's not a big deal. Especially if you got like a laptop or something and you're gonna be using that like at work or whatever, it's not that important. It is interesting though, because like when I grew up, cell phones were just becoming a thing, and they were like the big bricks and all that, and they were very whatever, right? You used them because you had to occasionally, no one really wanted to use them. But yeah, now they're just, most people growing up today have grown up with smartphones. I can't even imagine how different that is, like having that from like day one, and that kind of technology and information existing. It's a very different, like how that's gonna affect you growing up. Alright, I guess we murdered the assassins here. What if she doesn't do 52k? What is her NP rank? NP 5. Let's maybe do a brave chain. Surely she's not gonna die. The middle one is the most likely to die, but she can't brave chain where the other one can. Taunt it is. Okay, so we'll do the buster first, and then you know what? Actually, I'm gonna do it like that. That way, I can maybe at least extra attack the other one. Yeah, like when I was a kid, there was absolutely no accessing like whatever I wanted. I couldn't look up information about, you know, a random event, or okay, I could have one shot. But like the internet was, you couldn't use it really, and like, you know, you couldn't be on the phone, it was super slow, the internet, and this is what's crazy. I imagine a lot of young people are not gonna be able to understand that, understand this. The internet barely existed when I was a kid, right? Like you didn't have Google. You didn't have, most of these websites didn't exist, right? It was like barren. It was so barren. And then what was out there was a lot of times unprofessional, would load incredibly slow, right? Like you didn't have particularly good options back then. AOL CDs, I remember that. I remember that. AOL dial-up noises. You know what's crazy? People used to use it as like a meme in videos, but I think a lot of times if you use it now, people don't actually know what it is, or they think it's some weird exaggeration. Like it sounds like a monster is yelling at you through your like your computer, right? And it was absolutely insane. But yeah, most people, if they hear that, I don't think they'd even like understand it, let alone believe that was actually a thing. But if you Google like AOL connecting sounds, that was absolutely a thing.
遊びましょうよ
Yeah, the keyboards were crazy noisy. I remember that. Big clunkers. Some keyboards are still pretty loud today, though, to be honest.
私のこと好き私のこと
Now, obviously,
どう
even when I was young, I noticed there was a lot wrong with my generation. I really stand by that. But I am glad, though, that I grew up when I did, and that
倒します
I did gain an appreciation for things that weren't technology-based, even though I like technology as well, of course. But I'm glad that I had that. I think it's very useful. Having the technology added to your life later, opposed to growing up with it, I think that can cause problems. That being said, my generation was fucked up, but I'm an avid believer in that we're just getting worse as we go. That's kind of how I see humanity. We're just slowly going down the drain, and we're just finding ways to fuck it up as we go. Because everyone's like, oh, everyone thinks their generation was great, and the young people today are bad. I don't think that. I think my generation was bad. Your generation is worse. The one that comes after you will be even worse. And we'll just keep doing that until, like, I don't know, we go Mad Max mode or something. That's pretty much how I see it. Yeah, I'm not really a kids these days. I'm more like a we're always getting worse, right? The generation before me, like we're just slowly declining, right? You know, there's exceptions, but yeah, it's pessimistic, but yeah, it's kind of how I see it. It's like we got problems as we go.
どうどうどう
Let's not one shot. Okay, no, let's one shot a Lancelot. All right, that's great. Calculated. Kind of funny that she is still alive with his sharding unit. 12 turns, dude. Only the frickin'... I don't think I've ever had an account as slow as this one. The only other account that is, like, bad like this is the 1 to 3-star account that uses 3-star craft essences. But even it was faster than this because at least I was allowed to use whatever 1 to 3 stars I wanted. So we had a Raj, we had Spartacus. Obviously the 3-star craft essences are a massive handicap, but just having Spartacus and a Raj speed things up so much. Where this account just has no graceful way to get through stages. It'll get better though, once like, what's her name, Anastasia gets up. Once the few things that we have, once they're actually leveled up and max level, 10 to 10, all that nonsense, it'll get smoother. Like, it'll definitely get easier as we go when it comes to the filler stuff. Maybe not the boss fights, but... we're past Quetz, but we haven't fought like Gorgon yet. Well, we fought the joke version, but we haven't fought like the real one, and not... I guess Kingu's coming up at some point. I guess we just stick with this Berserker thing. Clean up with an assassin this time. Who's our best cleanup? Charlotte has survival. Oh yeah, we're allowed to... Wait, she's already at her max level. Oh god. 1 stars. I'm like, we're allowed to go to 70. She can't go to 70. She might get grailed though, just because she does have survivability and whatnot. I don't know. Billy's getting grailed 1,000,000%. That's no question. Who knows? Maybe William's health. I don't know. Yeah, I guess we're starting to get close to. Corrupted Ushi's not for a little bit though. We still got I think a few more bits before that.
ステータスこれで耐えます遊びましょう気持ちがいいどう
Charlotte Grail for anti-Zerker damage. Not actually a meme. Like 120 Charlotte against the Zerkers is pretty good. All things considered. What's William Tells? I bet you William Tells is Archer. But yeah, any chance William Tells is something useful, but I really suspect William Tell's his archer. That's definitely the kind of thing they would do. What do I want to do here? I guess we go for this one because he's got the buff. That's a bad crit chance. Well, we're also low too. Definitely. But she's not gonna be a fluffy DPS. I mean, Ku is banned, so... Like, believe me, if we were allowed to use Ku, we would absolutely use Ku. He is quite good for that fight, and it sucks. When I did that fight, I didn't have Ku's anti-berserker, which pissed me off, but if you do have it, it is, he's a huge help there. Yeah, Ku's not allowed, so our options right now are looking like Charlotte, Billy, William Tell. And probably 2 out of the 3 is gonna be Brock. I don't know, William Tell isn't like crazy because he does have synergy with Castoria and he does have anti-debuff. He had hard survival. Also, he doesn't have an upgraded NP and he doesn't have much damage up for his NP. If they don't have evade, he really doesn't hit hard. So I don't know. But Billy doesn't really hit that hard either, especially if you're working with Castoria. So it's basically Billy's like battery and hard survival versus William Tell actually being arch. Alright, back. Salami has the superior damage here. She's got the Brave Chain. I wonder if the 20% crit chance is better. I mean, it's still a pretty bad crit chance. Too bad. The thing that worries me about Charlotte is just the fact that she is still a 1-star and she doesn't have an upgraded NP. So like her actual damage and survival versus Fluffy's a little yikes. Like maybe at 120 though, it's not too. Can you not do that, guy? Freaking Soul Eater. Okay, Buster Chain looking pretty good right now. But Charlotte does have some degree of hard survival, not a lot. And then she is arch, so it works with Castoria. But her total stats are a lot lower than William Tell's, because 1-star. I don't know, I gotta think about it, because I would like to do Fluffy as efficiently as possible, and I'd love to do it without using command spells or anything. But, we're gonna have to pick the best option. I don't know, maybe it is William Tell. William Tell at like 110, 120. That might be better than Billy. I just feel like he's gonna die so easily. Robin would be a lot easier to work with because he has evade. Yeah, I've seen some people use Masashi for Fluffy, and that's the damage is just insane. You don't actually have to get rid of that many of the dots, and then she can remove the dots from herself, and that's really good. Her damage, upgraded NP, damage abilities, anti-berserker. She gets the NP up on her NP. See you, Zert. Hang in there. There's actually not that many anti-berserkers. It's just some of them get a lot of attention because they have it. If you actually look up who has anti-berserker, it's, you know, it's a decent amount of units, but there's way more low stars that don't have it than do. It's more like the people that got it are kind of crazy, right? They gave it to David and Stu, for God's sakes. But you can actually look on the wiki by class. You can look at who has anti-rider, who has anti-caster, who has anti-berserker, all that. And I'll have to check. I wonder if they did give out berserker more than others. I don't think if they did, it was by any significant amount, but Berserker lot can do for us too. I don't. It has 14k life left. It doesn't even. I am using the wrong Mystic code. That's actually kind of shitty because I need the XP on the anniversary blonde with those crit stars. Yeah, when they give it to foreigners, it's pretty broken because they already like A Foreigner counters a Berserker so much harder than like a Saber counters a Lancer because they're not balanced with a counterclass in mind. So when you are counterclassing them, you're busted. Chapter 14. I think there's like 22, 23 chapters. And see, the problem is if they ever make a Berserker boss that's truly balanced around a Foreigner, that's so bad because a lot of people don't have a Foreigner. So you just kind of can't do it. Oh, the Saber slot. Cairo, don't lie to me. You use Dion all the time simply because you don't have a better Saber to kill Lancers. Like, at least he has 4-star stats. Also, I don't remember which one of these is easier or harder. Like, you don't even care that Dion has, like, a heal and stuff. You just, like, Dion hit good with sword. Better than everything else. Yeah, summon Gilius, use Dion, and just try to strong arm it as best as possible. Alright, we're gonna have to fight Giant Ereshkigal at some point. That's actually a bit of a bitch. They're starting to add 3-stars again, though. They went for so long not adding any, and now we've gotten 2 that are both an FP summon. So I think this lasagna switchover is gonna... Okay, can we not do that? But yeah, I think it's gonna result in them getting a bit more on track with the low stars. Which is very exciting. Anytime they add a new unit for low stars, it's something we can really think about for the co-op account. I mean, I guess high stars too, but it's pretty rare that the high stars will make a cut. I guess we just do the most damage. We're not gonna be able to target switch in any kind of efficient way there. So, Dion was insanely useful for Quetz on hard mode. Like, that was, like, so helpful. Because, like, not only does Dion, like, buy 3 turns, even on hard mode, but you also get the NP. Like, it's just so helpful. Obviously, you could do that with George, but, you know, we don't have George. The stage could be going a little bit better. Yeah, Dion is a slightly worse George. Occasionally he's better just because, like, there might be some debuffs or something, but generally speaking, George is better, and George is cheaper, which is a big deal. Yeah, and honestly, George, this is no joke, especially since Siegfried's been buffed. George's NP... okay, game! Yeah, no, just double crit me, it's fine, I didn't need to live anyway. Okay, well, we're in the underworld, so, you know, death. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so George's NP is so much better than Dion's, especially because of Siegfried. Like, Siegfried ain't no meme. Like, Siegfried is really strong. And then having that NP support him, and then also do some damage and defense buff, etc. is so much better than Dion's. Dion's gonna be useful occasionally, right? There's some instances where you're like, yeah, you get Dion's NP easily. Can you guys stop critting? Anyway, sometimes, like, there's a fight where Dion gets NP from being attacked and he's just kind of hanging out. Like, yeah, as a bonus, you'll grab the debuffs and it's not so bad, but, boy, we're probably gonna lose this stage. We're just getting crit constantly. Not looking so good. Mash, can you do 5k? No, of course not. Well, Dion ultimately, though, in like a straight fight, is way weaker than Hercules because, one, he's not as skilled, and then there's more to a servant than their stats because you have like their skills and stuff. And if you look at Hercules' skills, they all contribute to Herc Smash real good. So, like, if Dion fought Hercules head on and there's no plot armor, he'd get pretty destroyed. Because not only has Hercules got higher stats still, but he is more skilled and he has the skills that are just way. I mean, he's a berserker with Mind's Eye, right? Like, Jesus Christ, you don't want to mess with that. And you know, there's this little thing, where he has 12 lives, right? And it's a small detail. Okay, Master's gonna go bye-bye. Oh, Mash could have killed there. Oh crap, Mash is still alive. Honestly, making stars with Shakespeare is probably the more practical thing. It's rather painful. You get 2 Berserker Lancelot Buster cards and you skip them. I wouldn't say Dion is crap. It's more like Dion is pointless because George exists, and then Dion is not quite as good. And because everyone has George no matter what, and his team cost is lower, it's like, why would I ever use Dion for anything? It's not that he's crap, he's just eh. Right? Like, crap is, you know, Jekyll and Hyde, right? That's crap. Dion is just kinda eh. Like, hey, this is kinda a neat thing, I guess, but, you know, why would I actually use it practically? We might actually lose to this thing. Can we just get like a lucky crit? Alright, let's just give, no, we'll save that. I was gonna give it to him for the double Sergeant up, but let's not do that. Taking the 20% crit over the, double buster. Those rainbow chains, it's like, no reason not. Okay, well, he's dead. Well, he did almost half, right? Alright, I keep forgetting to bring Anniversary Blonde, and it would actually be good here. Watch this Copium combo. I wish I had a quick card, because maybe I could crit right here. What a joke. What a joke, and I'm nerfing myself. Well, imagine having an NP that nerfs you, and it only lasts 2 turns. Like, really, if it's gonna nerf you, how does it not give you a way better benefit than that? I mean, it's better than Jekyll and Hyde somehow. And of course, we get no cards. Fantastic. Well, we can Rainbow Chain, but that's not gonna really result in that much damage. Gotta get them Buster cards. However, how many times have you seen that, where you NP with Gilius? And then on the next hand, you just get nothing, and then the NP wears off, and then you get cards, and it's like, okay, I'm so happy. Happens all the time. Yep, like it's so common that you just whiff it. It's ridiculous. And I can't even remove the defense down because we got all these filler debuffs. All right, let me just try to kill him right now. Do this so I don't get one shot. I actually got this man's third skill to rank 10 on this account because I knew we were gonna need it. It helped against Lion King, like no question. I really wish Gilius had gotten the buff. Like, Fergus's buff is really cool, and I actually really like Fergus's gameplay now. Like, I really do. It's cool. But Fergus did not need it half as much as Gilius, and I legitimately think I had said that there was a chance that they thought Fergus was as bad as Gilius, which I think we kind of saw that. But I think a big part of why he didn't get buffed was because they were buffing Caster Gilius, and they didn't want to do both. Like, I legit think that's why. They were like, yeah, Fergus is kind of bad, right? Which he's not, but, or wasn't, but... Caster Gilius obviously needed the buff. I mean, like, no one can deny that, and Caster Gilius needed it more than Saber Gilius, but... Dude, Kyro, did you see it on my Discord? People were arguing with me that Caster Gilius' buff was good. There were actually people saying that, and I saw it on Reddit some too, where people were like, wow, what a good buff. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you're not gonna use, like, Yang and support her with Caster Gilius. Unless, obviously, you like Caster Gilius, but that's not actually practical. You're better off with Hans. You're way better off with Hans. You're better off with Mozart. You're better off with Hohenheim. You're obviously better off with Waver. No one's actually gonna support, like, Voyager with Gilius, right? Like, the overcharge thing, or the MP thing, basically doesn't do anything. That's not even remotely practical. And like a little bit more MP damage does not put him in the running to keep up with like Babbage and Caster Coup and like not a chance. I think he could have been fixed with one buff. I think because first off they did buff him a while ago. They buffed his second skill to have damage up on it. So this is how I would have fixed Caster Gilius in one buff. I would have done like what they did with Hohenheim and add a new effect on his NP that's just crazy. I would have upgraded it so you get the extra damage, and that synergizes with his damage up skill that they gave him a while ago. And then you add a ridiculously good debuff to it, or even multiple debuffs to it. That's what you do, and he's still probably not going to be super meta, but that would at least make you think about using him, like if he had some really good effects on his NP. And that makes sense lore-wise, because his NP is where all of his power comes from. Yeah, and like imagine if like that battery though was just battery for anybody. Even that would be like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. He still probably wouldn't get used that much, but that's something, right? Like that actually is something. I don't think it's OP for him at all. His other kit is so bad, giving him a 30% battery for everyone is fine. But you could just load it up with buffs and debuffs, and again, that kind of works with the way the book is, so that would have been a good way to do it. Also, you could even give him a weird upgrade where he got a bigger damage multiplier like they did for, when they buffed Saber Lily, they gave her a bigger NP buff than they normally do. It's like a larger number multiplier. They could have done that for Gilius, and I think that would have worked a lot better. He has 10,000 attack, is 7. God, I just realized I did that Quetz video, and he's at level 70 out of 80 with 570 foe. What are you gonna do? One of these days, when we beat Babylonia, though, we're allowed to take him to 80, and that'll be pretty good. Yeah, Geronimo is like famous for needing a buff, but he actually doesn't need it as much as Gilius. It's not even close, actually. Geronimo is so much better than Caster Gilius. Because at least Geronimo's NP is actually good, and his second skill is good. Like it's quite a bit ahead over Caster Gilius. Yeah, that's gonna be funny when we do Solomon. One of us has to do it first, though. Like this is like the next level of gaming that me and Kyra are at. We need Mash for Guadia, but you're not allowed to bring Mash, and you can't slot Mash on your support list while she's dead. So one of us has to do it first and summon the other player's Mash, and that person has to not be at the point where Mash is dead. And then when that person beats it, that person gets their Mash back, and then they can slot Mash, and then the other person can now fight Guadia and summon that player's Mash. So yeah, if we got to it at the same time, we'd actually be like super screwing ourselves. But yeah, we'll just time it so we don't have to deal with that. Like, Kyro, we need Matahari, and I actually have been looking at this. We need Matahari anyway. Like Matahari is way better than the old guy. Wait, is she allowed? Hold on, I think she is. Because like her crit buff is so much better than his. Even though his is slightly higher raw numbers, she just gets so much more. She gets the crit buff, and then she gets the defense down and all that. So yeah, Matahari is like way better. And then we need her for Guadia anyway because of the skill seal. So yeah, we need to start working on Matahari. Why are we leveling so many assassins? I guess a lot more assassins are allowed than some of the other classes, but like we're having to level like every assassin ever, I'm noticing. The only one we're not leveling is because we're gonna level Phantom. We're gonna level Phantom eventually. We're not leveling Steno, but that's because we don't have her. The only one we're passing on is Jekyll and Hyde, and that's kind of obvious why we're passing on that one. Yeah, I actually think by the end of this, we're gonna level every single assassin available except for Jekyll and Hyde. And I don't know, maybe he'll get buffed when we run out of things to level. Or get leveled when we run out of other things to level, excuse me. Or if he gets buffed, that would be good too. Okay, I feel like I'm bringing a very bad setup to this, but it's a last second support. There's debuffs, that's good. Do we have... I guess I could get her NP, but... Do we have the Joan of Arc TE that gives you the D? We probably do, because we roll stories so much. Might want that when we fight a Reshigal later. Unless this is a Reshigal, which I hope not. Okay, actually I don't have it. I need to roll at the next opportunity. Sanson stats. Okay, now earlier I should have been bringing this, but for these fights I think I don't. You know, if this is the Reshigal, I think I said Steno earlier, we'll bring that. I think we're going to use Jinkai as the main DPS against Guadia. I think it's going to be like Mash, Jinkai, Geronimo, or something like that. I don't remember which one is easier or harder. I know one of them is a good bit easier. I don't really care to hard mode this one because it's like kind of just tedious. I don't think this is it. I don't think we rainbow chain. Main reason for Geronimo is because he's like the only fucking unit on the entire account that can heal his teammates with an NP. And the debuff resist isn't bad either. Like, I'll take that, but, yeah, let's think about that. Who else could heal? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think anyone else can heal their teammates with an NP. Yeah, it's just Geronimo. Big yikes. I didn't even realize that when we set this up initially. Can they do 32k? Kinda think no. Don't want to taunt with Dion yet though. Yeah, his skills that can heal, but that's not the same as an NP, because a heal you have to wait a really long time to use it again, where an NP you don't. Fuck you, dude. We got Invulnerability and Lancelot, you just murder Mash. And she had her NP. That sucks. Vulgar language, by the way. But yeah, if you want to like repeat NP and heal, Geronimo's the only option. His heal's not that big, so yeah, I don't even know if that'll work. I don't know if Mash. I don't know. Mash will make Guadia a hell of a lot easier, to be honest. So yeah, Mash, Jinkai, Geronimo. I think that is the play. It's either that or like Boudica. Like, no joke. Like, that much defense up, you might not need any healing. That actually might be better. That might be better. We'll see. And there's a chance you don't bring Jinkai because you don't, like... You don't need the damage. Like, hell, you might do... Oh god, you might do Mash, Boudica, Geronimo. But it'll kill. You'll suffer along the way. No, I don't think Iris Veal would qualify. She's way better than people give her credit for. And she's like the exact kind of unit we kind of have to not allow because we work too well with Mash. That's why Jufu's allowed, because all the other units, like you need to have backbone units, but we can't really allow Asclepius or Hans. Like we can't, but we have to allow something, so it pretty much has to be Jufu. But like, Iris Veal is too good. Because it's not, what people gotta understand, it's not really about how strong the individual unit is, it's how strong the account is allowed to be. Right, so like, adding Jufu, even though Jufu is a decent unit, it doesn't really do anything, because she's not Who the fuck is she gonna give stars to? Who's she gonna give her art up to? You know, Phantom? Oh man, right? It's not like that good. But you have to, the account must allow a unit like Jufu, right? Like you have, or support, right? You have to allow support. Okay, hold up, this is pretty crappy. But anyway, yeah, something has to be allowed, and it's more about like what you're giving the accountant, like its total options. And Iris Veal is just like an option that's way stronger. Because Iris Veal is comparable to Asclepius. Sometimes she's better than him. Now, a lot of times Asclepius is better than she is. But that's obviously too good to be allowed. Like, I mean, we would just use that all of the time. Because that's just way too strong. Yeah, Iris Veal, though, is just, she's gotten like a bad rep. Like, people act like she's trash. She absolutely is not. Like, she's actually solid. Like, she's certainly not like some god tier support or anything. It'd be nice to give her a buff regardless, but she's not that bad. And like, there's actually some kind of bad units we don't have on this list just because like they'll synergize too much with certain things. Okay, I feel like I'm just getting the worst luck imaginable here. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, just everyone is getting crit constantly, and like everyone keeps dying before they could do any of their value. And like, assassins have a higher crit chance, but they don't have that high of a crit chance. It's like 30%. Like, whoop-de-doo. That was like so stupid, as everyone kept melting, so I couldn't do anything. I think we saved Dion. I don't think we need him. That's, well, I mean, the main problem was he just died so quickly. Could do like that, or even that. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Just crit forehead. Well, maybe he needs to be you know what? I actually think Anastasia. If he was Fode, I would use him, but his attack stat is just too low there. Do I have Formal Craft? I do. Alright, that could work. I miss George too. He might be allowed in 2.0, we'll see. Well, we'll like rediscuss what's allowed and not allowed, and we'll try to be a bit more thorough and you know, add in a few more things. Hold on, I legitimately want to know what's the difference with this one. I don't even know, although I don't even know what stage I'm on, for God's sakes. Because these aren't like interesting enough to be like quests where I want to do hard mode, but they're like annoying. God, this chapter is so long. Okay, it's not that one. I have no idea what stage this is. Like, they don't let you go back. So it's Lancer and... I think the top one is harder. They're actually kind of comparable to each other though, because like there's some things with the other one that are harder. But I'd say overall the bottom one is easier. I think I know what that stage is now. We could do it. The final Lancer is just 200k, so I mean we could have done it either way. 1 second, I need to get water. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do about 2.0 though. Like, I don't want to add anything like Robin Hood or anything like that. But we might add like a few maybe random golds and yeah, maybe a few low stars that they won't really kill anything. They can't like make a fight easy, but they just give you better utility options, like George. But we'll see. The thing is, if we allow George, we're just fucking over Dion. So it's gonna be Valkyrie. It's actually weird we didn't add Valkyrie to begin with, to be honest. Honestly, BB is kind of meh. I think she's overrated like crazy. But she'd make Avenger fights too easy, I think. Pyro, are we gonna do Epic of Limit first? Just because it is released first? Is that what we want to do? Because Shimosa is gonna be hard as hell. I kind of want to do Epic of Remnant first, just because release order. Yeah, Agartha will be insanely hard. That's gonna be a problem. Cat Fight's an easy one to forget, but it's actually pretty hard, all things considered. Especially for budget. I guess Salami would be alright there, though. This is King DDD's theme. It's just like a remix of it in the newer Kirby game. Columbus will be caught kinda hard, but I don't think he'll be too bad. Like, I mean, let's be honest, almost no boss fight is actually easy on these accounts, but you know, it's not gonna be like Ozzy's Demon Pillar, right? It's not gonna be that bad. You know, King DDD's theme is probably older than some of the people in my chat. Yeah, it might be older than you, Cairo, actually. The earlier Kirby games are quite old at this point. What the hell do I do here? Get lucky, forehead. We'd probably crit here if I had his skill rank up. At least 30 stars we could probably get. And that'd be boosting our chances. I'll take it. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I hate filler battles. It sucks. And Quetzal's actually really fun. I actually have not enjoyed Babylonia on the co-op account. It's actually one of my least favorite. It's so much filler. There's way more filler than Camelot. And the boss fights aren't any better. Actually, most of them are worse. After the music is living, we'll fix that. Like, Camelot has overall higher quality boss battles and it has more of them. And they're spaced out way better. So I didn't really get forward in Camelot at all, where there's a few bits that are kind of dry, but I'm very bored in Babylonia. It sucks. Like, Nasu is just so big on filler. I mean, it's just obvious. Every time he is, like, in charge of a singularity from ground up, it's just filler, 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 filler. He is just so big on that. And I fucking hate it. I'm actually really worried about Lost Belt 7 because they already confirmed Nasu is writing it, and I'm like, the first thing that came to my mind when he said that is, oh great, there's gonna be mountains of filler. Tiamat isn't the only interesting boss battle. I mean, Quetz is pretty good, Corrupted Ishi is pretty good. Some of the Tiamat's kiddos are pretty damn tough. Kingu's fine, Gorgon's fine. They're not Camelot level, but they're fine. How far in are you, Cairo? Because I have to imagine the Chaos Tide is just the worst thing ever. I don't know how we're even gonna deal with that. We have no healing, and we can't go fast. I honestly don't know how we're gonna do it. We might have to use Geronimo or something. Like, I mean, seriously, I don't see how we're gonna do it. Because these accounts go incredibly slow, and they have no healing. This is a very bad combination when you have Chaos Tide going off every turn. Wait, do we have the anti-demonic one? Do we have that? Let me check. I know what one you're talking about. I don't know if we actually got that. I don't know if I got that. Let me see. Maybe I didn't level. I don't think I have that. I don't remember doing that event. Yeah, is it this one? Because I didn't limit break it if it's that one. So, that's not good. Hopefully it's good enough, but I doubt it. I don't think that'll be that great. Yeah, I think I remember that now. I just never dropped. I think you needed one as a drop, and it just never happened. So, yeah, that's not ideal. I don't think it non-MLB's worth. I doubt it. It generally isn't, especially if, like, the only time it's worth, because like the better way of doing it if you're going to use non-MLB is you bring like a bunch of DPS with no support and everybody has one. It's not normally worth it to like everyone support Billy and he's got the CE when the CE is suboptimal like that. I don't think that'll work very well. Like, I think it'd be better to like use yours from the support and focus on that. I think that's the way to do it. Alright, we need, I guess, that. Now we'll do Sanson because of the heal. I think this is the one with the dragon. Might not want her. Case go for everybody. Yeah, I think putting on your Romulus is the way to go. I think that would do well. Especially because Romulus can heal himself. That'll really help with the Chaos Tide nonsense. I am not looking forward to Chaos Tide, dude. I don't want to deal with that at all. I wonder if Geronimo's worth it. I feel like he's not in that fight. I really gotta say though, I really have not liked Babylonia. It's just been so boring. And like Quetz was fun. Like Quetz really was fun. But that's it. I think it fucking sucks. Looking forward to Solomon because there's not any filler in Solomon, so. If we ever make it to Lost Vault 5 Part 2, I'll be really looking forward to that. That'll be great. But, I don't know if we'll get there. I hope we do. Well, I mean, if we use command spells, we'll get there, but it'd be nice to get as far as we can without ever using them.
どこにいるの？そこね。
Well, 1k can be enough to stop Chaos Tide from being enough to kill you, though, and you could also use it more than once, depending on what's going on. Yeah, Lost Belt 6 actually won't be very hard on these accounts until Morgan, and even Morgan I don't think is that bad, because I think they give you Castoria, use Mash, and like any DPS works. We'll have to remember how to do it, like you have to set up pretty properly, but I remember almost any DPS can kill Morgan if you use Mash with Castoria. Like that, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I mean, it'll take effort, but it won't be a big deal. But Fluffy, like most of Lost Belt 6 will be fine. I'm sure there'll be some annoying fights, like with some weird things you might not think of. Like actually, like the Dragon Lolly might be kind of hard because you're not going to kill it very quickly. And the longer that fight goes, it gets exponentially harder. There's so many fights that people are like, oh, that's going to be easy, and it's not. Like it's just like the worst thing ever. That happens all of the time. Because if people are really bad at like framing what the game is like when you're using like really weak stuff, they just don't really, they don't play that way. Most players don't play that way, and so they don't realize when something is going to be like, oh yeah, if you're going slow, this fight becomes exponentially harder. They normally don't see that kind of thing coming. Where I generally do, because I do these piece of shit accounts all of the time. But anyway, let's not fool ourselves. The part that is going to be hard is Fluffy. Like, that is obviously going to be harder than everything else, and I'm not even sure it's possible without command spells, but we'll see. You know what? I'm just gonna do this number. Yeah, Burgers might be tough, we'll see. Burgess is not, I don't think it'd be as bad as Fluffy, just because the stat check element of Fluffy is going to be so out of our reach. I would be very surprised if we could beat Fluffy without using command spells. And hell, I'll be a bit surprised even if we do with command spells. I'm definitely gonna try for a long time before I would use CS though. I don't think chat would want us to just get there and get halfway in CS and do the other half. Besides, there's no reason to get past Fluffy quickly. Nothing happens. So if I have to go farm, if I gotta come back later, you know, I'll do that. I don't need to blitz past Fluffy. No, blue cubes are not allowed. I don't think we'll ever allow that on any of our accounts, really. Okay, well they're gonna die. Let's be honest about this. Yeah, Fluffy would be the scared one if he pulled out the blue cubes, because it wouldn't even be hard. I'm serious, as bad as these accounts are, it would not be hard to kill Fluffy with blue cubes. Like, you have to really suck at the game to have a hard time with blue cubes. If we use like 2 blue cubes in CS, I mean, it's just so easy. Like, we could bring such a bad setup and win anyway. But yeah, Fluffy would be the one that would be, in for a bad time at that point. Come on, Lancelot. Damn it, 97. Oh, we're saved. I don't think, I hate to say this, but because he's NP1 and he's not fully FO'd and all that, I don't think Lancelot's NP is really worth anything here. If he had it, like, I'd use it, but I don't think there's much point. Maybe Lancelot will crit with that 20%. We had a dream. Hey, damage cut coming in clutch right there. Mash though. I'm literally using Lancelot's NP to overcharge Mash's NP so she gets a bigger buff to buff. Charlotte. I know the Fluffy emote is just incredible. Like it's just I need to make more versions of it for like sub emotes and stuff. We need to like really get some good stuff. We need Fluffy Hard and Fluffy Salute kind of thing. Fluffy Roll. Oh my God, Fluffy Roll. That needs to happen. That's harder to do, but that absolutely needs to happen. Fluffy Spin. That definitely needs to happen. That'll have to be CGI though, I think. You'd have to pay an artist so much to do like a proper like spin. That would be a lot of work. And Twitch only supports like so many frames, so there'd be some problems there. You know, maybe Lancelot could crit again. It's not worth it. We should save it. Dude, I got my Fluffy plushie right next to me. I got like this. I've always had this other chair like by my computer chair, and I just put Fluffy there for now. It's great. He's sitting next to me, chilling out. That's not the kind of spinning I'm talking about. Like that wouldn't work at all, Fluffy. Like that. Look at what Fluffy does in the boss fight, right? That's what we're talking about, obviously. Then now imagine him spinning like nice and slow and like totally frozen in place like he does in the boss fight. But it's the typical Fluffy emote we have, right? He's just like just stone stuck in that position, slowly spinning, right? If you can't just mirror the image, that doesn't work at all. I don't know. How is Lancelot alive right now? I don't understand. Like, I know we had Mash's NP and it was overcharged and all that, but like, Jesus Christ. Like, Mash had the defense buff too and she died, so... Like, what the hell? Yeah, Giga Chat, I suppose. He brought the sword this time instead of the pole, so he was serious. I would like to remind everyone that Lancelot is actually the father of Galahad and not Mash. I would just like to remind everyone of that. Holy crap, we are still not at the electrical fight, I don't think. I love not having, like, the classes. I think we'll just do the top one. Alright, we'll go with... What's Cairo have for casters? Cairo, what are you doing? Like, I know she can't make it to, like, the level cap where she gets her battery, and she's, like, worth nothing without the battery, but, like... Bruh. That's pretty bad. I mean, there's Hohenheim. That's not so bad. And actually, you could take him to 70 if Cairo would, like, you know, do 2 XP dailies. Yeah, the new guy is a thing, I suppose. Is he in the all slot? I don't know, I mean, he's in P2, chat. Like, Hohenheim is in P5. Pretty good skill ranks, honestly. We go with that. I keep fucking up my Berserker page. I need to stop doing that. You're gonna fuck one up through this one. We could do like a filler Berserker. Maybe that. If she gets her NP, that's really good. Chat, I'm gonna make a full spin video for Jufu, obviously, because like I asked if people wanted it, and like I had so many replies, people want it. But I'm gonna have to do it right. I gotta take my time, so that'll take a while to do actually. Gotta make it good. You don't want the footage to loop in like 60 seconds, right? You gotta really get creative in there. I don't think we need to slot anything yet, but give it a minute. I'm not actually 100% sure which one this is. I think this is the one with the saber, I think. Chat, I have not been like super bored while playing this account until Babylonia. It is just boring the hell out of me. And it's really frustrating because there's a few fights in it that we've got to do and are really important, but like, god damn it. I don't know why I gave that. You know what? Let's do that instead. Okay, how many sections is Babylonia? I'm gonna look this up. It is... Now, the ending doesn't count, like you got a chapter where you don't do anything. It's 21 sections of actual fighting. And I think like chapter 19 or something is a freebie. So technically there's not that many chapters left. It's just pretty much every chapter from this point on is a billion arrows, so... I think what we're gonna do is like get to a Reshigal and then do that next time, so I'm beat. Yeah, I might do some of the filler fights off stream. Like when we beat a boss, then do what's like before the next like stage that actually matters. I don't think anyone cares. Like if the stuff I'm doing right now, if I did it off stream, like I do not think anyone would care. But I might not play the account for a little bit. When summer comes out, we might be streaming that. We have a lot of stuff to stream on the main account, like testing out Fergus on the dragon and Lance a lot. We got a lot to do that's more fun. But I figured we'd wait until summer to do all that. But I just wanted to get like a good chunk done now because I knew it might be a minute. Watch this Stargent on Mash, boys. Got 1 star. That was like 4 stars on the quick though. I mean, sometimes summer events are good, and even if the summer event isn't brimming with content, we can like, you know, like I said, test out Fergus on the dragon, and I finally unlocked Kama, so we can fight Kama whenever we want. And you know, we got Lancelot buff, we got a lot of stuff, so there are things to do. Also, chat, I don't know how far, I know Ku can beat like a pretty high gauge version of Kama, but I don't know how far. He could do like 25% before, he could probably do like 50% now, and I don't know, he might be able to do more than that, we'll see, but yeah, there'll be new units, obviously. There should be a lot of new units all at once, and hopefully chat will actually have some of them because, you know, summer hype normally gets people to roll. You know what's sad? There is actually a slight chance I would roll if there's just someone with a toolkit that I like and if I could get Ku. But I probably am not going to roll on Summer unless someone's got a really awesome like, gameplay kit. I was really hoping Ku would get a costume because then he would get, he would get a raid up. I can't believe Ku hasn't had a single raid up since the coin system. But Kiyohime's gotten one, I think Robin and Caesar got one, like there's been several 3-star, Izo's gotten some, like there's been several, there's been a lot of 3-star rate ups since the coin system, but Ku has just miraculously not had a single one, which, it kinda sucks. That was the wrong card on that. Who knows, maybe they're hiding Summer Ku as a surprise, but I don't think they're gonna do it this year. I think they would have shown it off if they were. They know how much people want that. They even acknowledged that like 2 years ago and we still haven't done anything. Okay, probably should have just done Hohenheim's NP. Not quite as good of damage as I would have liked there. Got some NP gain for Anastasia, I suppose. Generally if it increases something by 1 rank, it's like the numerical amount that 1 rank is worth. And the thing about EX is it's, you know, it can be like what, 251 to like 99999, or just untangible, right? So it doesn't really mean anything. It can mean a lot, but like if something's like A rank, it's more likely to go to like A plus, right? Like what they would normally do if it's a flat B, it'll go to flat A, right? If it's B plus, it'll go to A plus. But I'm pretty sure if there's no more ranks, if it's at A, it'll just do A plus, and if it's at A plus, it'll go A plus plus. If it's at A plus plus plus, it'll go A triple plus. That's actually a thing. A triple plus is a thing. And then after A triple plus, it's EX. Benasu said there's 3 5-stars. He didn't say he wanted it. He said there is 3 5-stars. So we'll just have to see what that amounts to.
Hi. Hi.
But yeah, EX, like they said this many times in character material books, and they've actually been pretty consistent about this. They don't, that's one thing although they might bullshit like plot armor, but like generally the way they do numbers under the hood, they've remained consistent with. And yeah, EX is either, it's worth more than A triple plus, which I think A triple plus is like, I think it's 200 and then EX is 250, something like that. But it can be anywhere from 250 to 9, obviously, or it's unquantifiable, right? Which can actually be very weak. It doesn't mean it's necessarily powerful. But yeah, they just straight up say that in character material, that EX either means beyond A triple plus or unquantifiable. And because some things just aren't, the way like some skills work or some NPs work, there's just no way you're going to put like a numerical number on its oomph, right? Like it doesn't work that way. I actually want someone to die so we can get in our sabers, but I mean, I don't think there's any coping or any of that at all. I mean, sometimes I feel like the community thinks literally, and I see this because people, you guys have seen it, right? When I'm streaming, someone will just come in and like matter-of-factly be like, how did your rolls go for X waifu? I'm like, awfully presumptuous of you that I would actually want to roll on random unit, right? Like, but I see that a lot in the community where they just act like everybody wants to roll on everything, and it's because I guess they want to roll on everything and you think everyone else is like that. Like the part 1 banner, there's gonna be a bunch of people that don't roll on the part 1 banner. They're just like, I don't care about any of these characters. There's gonna be loads of people like that. I actually can pretty much guarantee you, with a very few banner exceptions, but even then I don't know if this would ever happen, pretty much more people skip a banner than roll it, even when a banner is super successful. The player base is massive, especially in Japan. Like, I don't think people actually realize how big the player base is, and how many, even when something is popular, just how many people don't care. They either don't have the SQ, or they just don't care about the fucking unit, right? Even if it's popular, that doesn't mean they want it. Like, and that's same for summer. I guarantee you more players skip the summer banners than roll on them. Now, more people roll on them than normal, right? Like, absolutely, but there's still loads of people like, I don't like any of these characters, right? Like, it's just in the statistics, right? When you know how many people play the game, and like how many people log in, and you know, the typical earnings they do, there's more players not rolling per banner than are, right? The few exceptions might be some of like the most popular characters that have ever been. And even then, I think at best you maybe get to 50-50, right? I don't think even then you're going to get to where the majority of the player base is rolling. But there's no way to know with summer. I mean, they're probably going to have 3 banners. I mean, they're just, we have no idea what they're adding. I mean, we've literally, I mean, look at how random the summer units are in past years. Right? There's no way to know what they're adding. There's going to be so, like, of course, you know, some stuff's pretty predictable. Like, Rechigal is pretty likely, right? Because she's so requested. But if there's 3 SSRs, I mean, what the hell is, you know, the other one going to be? And then you're going to have a bunch of 4-stars. I mean, God knows what's getting added. And like, yeah, it's like, you don't, most people wouldn't want to roll on all 3 banners anyway. They'd be like, okay, I'll roll on the second one, and I don't care about the first one, right? Like, that happens all the time. Now, sure, you have some people that just, you know, go gotcha crazy, and they just want to roll on literally everything that breathes, but I really don't think that's like the majority of the player base. I don't know why I didn't cast her skill there. That was a bit of a mistake. I'm kind of just clicking buttons at random right now. Now, they said there's three new SSRs, not including the male. Like, Like they made that pretty clear. Now, it's not, they might do a rotating banner, right? So there's not 3 full banners. It could be like 2.5 or something. They've done that before. It's hard to say how they're actually going to approach it, but I don't care if either of them die, and she still has invulnerability, so. They'll probably still have the male banner though. Like, what's probably going to happen is you'll have part 1 banner, you know, being oh yeah, Proto Merlin, that's the one, right? I forgot. Anyway, yeah, it'll be like part 1 will be Proto Merlin or Exegol or whatever the fuck. And then the male banner will be on the side of it. And that'll just stay there, right? And then at some point, the part 1 banner will change to another one, and then it'll change to another one. It'll be independent of the male one. The male one is kind of just a side thing. They don't really put, it's not like a big part of the focus. Even though sometimes it ends up selling really well, but you know, it's not new content, and they're aware of that, so I don't think they've really put that much like hype behind it. If I wait to NP with her, we get more dot damage, but it doesn't really matter. Triple split banner, that sounds so crap. Someone would roll though, and holy crap, they got whales to roll in that one crap essence banner that had like 10 rate-ups on it. They know they can bait like really hardcore whales with like horrible banners. And it's like that one unit that from like 10 years ago that they super want, right? They've done that with like Caster Nero and stuff like that. Kind of fucked up. How is all of Billy's cards in the last hand? I was going to crit, but it's all in the next hand.
Okay.
Oh well, boss is dead. That took 14 turns. Or I guess 13, but... Yeah, they don't really do split banners anymore. Actually, they've done a few though. They don't do them for main banners, but they've done some split stuff for filler stuff, but... they have started to get away from that once they introduced the, what do you call it? The safety net. But they still do split. It's just mainly for 4 stars and stuff like that. And like, even like right before the safety net, they had done some split banners, so. Honestly, 4 stars is just suffering. Like, it's so bad right now. Okay, chat. I am losing my mind. Is this a Restrogol, though? No, we'll just save it for next time. Holy shit. Actually, I don't think it's a Restrogol. Yeah, we have one more. And then it's a Restrogol. Okay. So the one more is like super filler. I'm looking at it. So I might do that one off stream. And then we'll do a Restrogol next time. Like, holy crap. Although it might be a little bit before next time just because the summer event is coming up. I'd like to play Arknights, but I am pretty exhausted, so I don't know if I've got enough gas in the tank. We'll see. I'll take a break. I'll get some water, right? I might eat a little bit, and then I might do a few like challenge modes in Arknights. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. So yeah, I might sneak a little bit in. I might work that out. But yeah, I got to relax for a bit. But thank you guys for hanging out. At least we beat Quetz, and that was actually surprisingly smooth. And yeah, we'll see what's up with FGO tomorrow, and we'll probably stream the main account actually then. We'll see. But yeah, take care everyone, and I am out of here.